Good evening, class. This is Anita Moses, the graduate assistant working with Dr. Swan. Today I'm going to take a few moments to review the requirements for the project and the shadowing experience. I know you are probably already in the process of getting these two requirements taken care of, but I want to review this to make sure that everyone is make everyone is doing the appropriate things to get the points that are required and for this project. Um, First of all, make sure that you have appropriate contacts for the planned event. You have to have at least a minimum of 3 contacts. So, for example, you can't just have the firefighter come and talk to a group of students, or you can't have just a group of nurses do blood pressure screening. There needs to be at least a minimum of 3 contacts of various different groups of people to come and participate in your health fair. Um, there should be planning meetings among the group. Everyone should attend a minimum of 3 meetings in order to get your points. You have to participate in the event um, to get the 20 points. Um, then there is 15 points associated with the scholarly paper that you have to write after you complete the event is completed. In the paper, you are required to complete an assessment of the group process, what kind of planning and went into implementing the event, and the description of your responsibilities. You can include dates of meetings, discussions, problems, solutions, list and contact name, addresses, phone numbers, and fax numbers of the people that were contacted. How this event was finally implemented, evaluate the event using Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And recommendation for future events. You have to have at least 2 nursing references, and one of the references have to be a nursing research article. So, with reference to Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the YouTube attachments that I sent to you in the first couple of weeks of the course had a YouTube video describing what the 7 habits of highly effective people were, according to Steve Covey. Also, you can do Google searches on him if you don't have the textbook to see what the 7 habits of highly effective people by Stephen Covey was and what it meant, and how you can relate it to your project. Also, in your paper, you would um, write about what recommendations you would have for such events in the future. If you have any more questions about the project, feel free to email Dr. Swan, and she'll answer them. Before you do that, you could also review her YouTube video in the beginning of the course that review the syllabus and the content. The second thing that we're going to talk about is the shadowing experience. Hope everyone has already started making contacts with nurse managers in the area who either work in a hospital or nursing home, or even a community health center. This has to be a nurse, and this person has to have a minimum of 20 employees in order to qualify um, to be an appropriate candidate for you to shadow. You are responsible for making these contacts and going and implementing it by going there. Before you go there, you should um, gather some information and write down some questions, so you can um, ask appropriate questions from the manager in the 4 hours that you're going to be with her. Some of the questions are related to the roles of the nurse manager, and these here are the titles of what you could be asking her about: how her decision making process, the planning that goes, quality improvement, ethical and legal dilemmas that they may have had, what kind of team building measures they are implementing in their institution, information about employee appraisals, care delivery systems, consumer relations, and personal analysis of managerial and leadership styles um, that they possess. You should have, once you have all these, write all these questions down when you go, before you go for your shadowing experience, so you can ask those questions, jot your answers down, and when you go again for the second 4 hour, you can ask that person the same questions, and with all that information and the 3 nursing references that you will search for, including 1 nursing research with application to manager, you would write a paper, a scholarly paper that compares the roles of each of the nurse managers that you shadowed in performing their leadership functions. Make sure you use APA level 1 and 2 headings to organize your paper, so it will be in an organized form, and we can read it and understand your experience. If you have any more questions, please feel free to email Dr. Swan, or you can review, like with the project, the syllabus that Dr. Swan went through in the YouTube video in the first few weeks of the course. I hope you have a wonderful 3 more weeks of this course, and I hope you have learned about how to be a manager and what the roles of the manager and leaders are in nursing, and all the issues, legal, ethical, decision making issues that go along with this job. Best wishes, and good luck as you complete your project and your shadowing experience.